And we are live. Yes. Okay, is it showing? Okay, no one is logged in yet. So, okay, we're just trying to connect perfectly. Hi Snwai, hi Zinzi, hi Odwa. I'm having problems seeing who's online. Please just give me a second. Yes. Welcome everyone. Welcome. Thank you very much for logging on time. 3 o'clock it is. I just want to know, can you guys hear me? Am I audible? Um, if you can hear me, send a comment so I know that I'm fine. Very much appreciated for logging on time. I know I get very frustrated when people say they will start at a certain time and they are not there. Thokoza beauty, Thokoza snovuyo. Let's just give everyone else a chance to log in. I mean, we are all technologically challenged. If you're like me, it will take you a while to log in. They said people find their comfortable spots on their couches or on their beds, load data, because I'm about to talk, or connect to the neighbor's Wi-Fi, whichever way. Let's give it 5 minutes for people to log in, and yes, just 5 minutes, then we'll begin. Into the darkness, is a tattoo swallow, you can call mama. Oh, we will see, so lift my head up high. Open my eyes and I will die. Oh, I'm feeling comfort, I'm feeling comfort. The heavens are open. Hi Tangisa, I see you there, thank you for joining in. I'm losing my phone. Kudala, sisiwa ndivuka, tifuna nolothando, Kudala, tifuna uloribule. Hi Pila, hi Tulani, thank you. Hi Mama, hi Palisa, thank you very much. Baleka Mazulu. Baleka Mazulu. Hi, Kokol Memele Sabati, Thokozani. Baleka Mazulu. Baleka Mazulu. I'm begging you, darling, stop losing your soul. Hey, no more drifting. Guys, I sing when I'm nervous, so I'm trying to calm myself down. And I hope you're singing along on your side as well. This is a beautiful song. Got me through a lot as well. Okay, let's get the ball rolling. Hello, everyone. Thank you to everyone who has joined in. Thank you for taking out your time once again. This has been a long awaited, you know. Me and Nabisa hardly slept last night, you know. Nerves, you know, trying to test audio and everything. And thank you to everyone who was actually online at that time to give us feedback on how everything is. The purpose of this live session is to introduce a book that I've been working on for the longest time. And the reason I decided to release it, the reason I decided to talk about it now was because I have been asking a lot of people what is the normal that they want to return to when this pandemic is over, or at least when rules are a bit relaxed, you know, when we finally move to a level 1, or when they say there's a vaccine, or whichever way. You know, I've been asking people who are close to me and people who I interact with, what is the normal that you want to go back to? And the more I ask people that question, I actually realize that there's actually things as well that I have been sidelining and thinking it's not yet the time for them, you know. And I actually realized that maybe that should be my normal. I want to return to an open world where I come out and give out everything that I have been hoarding, you know, that I haven't been sharing with everyone. So I decided to release my book. And before releasing it, I thought let me have an introduction, you know, and get everyone on board to understand what the book is about, and everyone to be with me and walk the journey with me. Igama ngu-Onela, Onela Nzume, very proud Xhosa girl from the Eastern Cape. The book takes you back to the earliest memories that I remember growing up, you know, from my childhood. It takes you through my relationships and my interactions with my siblings, my older sister and my younger brothers. Tamaku, guys. The other thing that I have been just trying to fix this, because you're saying insimbi ziyangola. Okay, guys, is it better now? I'm gonna hold it like this. Yes, is it better now? Okay, thank you, thank you, Lutando. The book takes you through ukukhula kwam, you know, back at home, my siblings. It takes you through my interactions with them, the kind of relationships I had with them, from them covering up for me for small things like having to steal peanut butter, you know, to actually me taking care of them and bossing my older sister around. I think I still boss her around even now. It takes you through the relationships that I had with them, you know, things that I didn't know were lessons back then, and which actually, when I think about them now, have actually been part of me for the whole 32 years that I've been alive. Yes, I am 32 years of age. No, I might look 16, but I'm 32. Um, it moves you through to the interactions with umama, you know, a woman who taught us who we are and who we ought to be and who we have to be to others. You know, she has always been a strong beacon for me and for all of us, and she still is. God bless her soul. She instilled a lot of confidence in me, and she instilled a lot of caring, and she instilled a lot of always striving to do your best under any circumstances. Thina ekhaya sikhule singayazi intsokolo. We didn't even know what is poverty because our parents did the best to equip us and give us everything that we needed. So it takes you through my relationship no mama, our ups and downs, you know, her having to deal with a lot of my tantrums and all the life lessons that I learned from her and I am still learning from her. The book takes you through as well umakhulu wam, you know, a person who has been and always is my shiro. Like guys, xa kusithiwa omama bomthandazo, you're speaking about my grandmother. She taught us a lot about faith, you know, that wherever I went, ndaya ndabuya, it didn't matter. The faith that she taught us and everything that esikhule ngayo ekhaya was from her. You get to meet umomkhulu. You get to meet umomkhulu, one person who likes things straight and being planned. Like you won't believe that she called me this morning at 6 a.m. Asking me why I went live elele, and I told her I'm only going live at 3 p.m. and she invited her friends to watch. And I had to explain to her that we were just testing audio. So you get to meet her, the person that is able to call me to order even if I don't want to. You know, she's that strong hand in the family. And my relationship with her only started flourishing because I never really understood or spent time with her, you know, because of distance and where we were based and where she's based currently. And then at the beginning of the book as well, you get to meet a little girl, you know, you get to meet me not understanding someone very important in my life, you know. There was a lady in my life that came into my life and left as she pleased, you know, as she pleases, and I never really understood who she was, and I always try to connect with her. I always try to understand, you know, try fit into her world. I never really gave her a chance to be who she was supposed to be in my life. And this was a person that I later on in life learned that she was actually my mother. I learned about this when I was in standard 4. You'll forgive me, guys, I don't know grades and all of those things. And when I learned about this, my whole life changed. Now a person endikhule ndimbiza mama, thinking ngumama wam. Well, nothing really changed in the relationship between mna nomama. But then now I had to accept a person that I never really took note of to actually be my biological mother. So it takes you through that. It takes you through me finding out who my biological mother is, and us finding, both of us actually trying to find a way to gel, a way to be mother and daughter. It was not easy. It was not easy at all. So you get to walk through and feel all those emotions with me, and yes. So Wanela couldn't wait to leave the Eastern Cape and come to Joburg, because she was still in between worlds, where she was still trying to grasp this new world of having another mother figure. Now she has three mother figures, and she has to accommodate all of them, and she has to learn who to consult in any given situation, and Umama tried her best to make the transition very smooth. I then moved to Joburg. You get to get on that Greyhound bus with me and move to Joburg. Joburg, I got here, and I had to now learn to be independent, put on my big girl panties on. And I was welcomed by my sister and my uncle, my late uncle, may his soul rest in peace. I got to Joburg, and life was different. Life was different, there was not much control over Ubombam. I the drill, guys. You come to varsity, the parties, the clubbing, the boys and everything. School, whatever you do, uhlala uzikhumbuza uba kuthiwe kokwenu eyona nto ithunyelweyo apho is for you to go to school. So you get to come to Joburg with me and experience my life when I got here, everything that I experienced, all the lessons learned. You get to walk a journey with me regarding my sexuality. Something that you have to read about. We won't dwell on it. You must get a copy of the book to actually understand what I mean by that. You get to journey with me through a lot of loss during my time in Johannesburg. A lot of me questioning myself if, am I woman enough? Do I deserve to be called who I am? My name means enough, right? My name means enough. I also recently learned that it means light. And a lot of times I ask myself, am I enough? Every time that something would happen and I was so far from home, I would ask myself, am I enough? So you get to step into my shoes and walk with me through all those questions and through all those experiences, the ups and downs, The most important thing that happened when I came to Joburg was I made friends. And the friends that I made were very pivotal in my life. They became more family to me than just a friendship. They took me through a lot in life. I wouldn't be here if it wasn't for them. There were people who could read me, who could understand me. Abantu run away from home at a young age because they are rebellious and abafuna uxelelwa. I actually ran away from home when I was in varsity, home being my sister's place, because I couldn't fathom not being understood. I couldn't fathom having to explain my every step to everyone. And that is where friendship meant a lot. My friends were there. They were my safety net. They gave me time to breathe and find myself. They always reminded me of who I am. And I realized that I actually do not have friends. I have sisters. And I would like to send a big shout out to the Zide family, to the Nceke family. They abantwana babo bandikhulisile eJoburg. To the Twari family, abantwana benu bandikhulisile eGoli. If it wasn't for your abantwana benu babezitshomi zami, I do not know where I would have ended up. So you get to meet all these people that played a role in molding me and getting me through tertiary and all. Towards end of my tertiary, I got an opportunity to travel abroad, which was the first time that I was going to be on a flight, first time I was going to be traveling, had to get passports, it was all crazy. And I remember, okay, let me make you guys understand. So when I say umama, I mean umama, the lady that I grew up and still call my mother. Then when I call out umakazi, umakazi is my biological mother. So I want you to understand it, that when I say umakazi, I'm referring to my biological mother. When I say umama, I'm referring to her older sister. So I traveled abroad, and Umakazu was like, hey, this is human trafficking. Like, why would they choose you and stuff like that? But because I was a person who knows how to talk for herself and convince people, oh, my, yeah, I am smart and I got this, it's legit, I traveled abroad, and when I came back, I'd learned so much, you know. I'd learned so much that I had ideas that I wanted to come back and plant seeds up ekhaya, in South Africa. And fortunately, there was a person in my life, Azania Avela Jokweni. Thank you, you know. Avela, when I came back, bought into my idea of me wanting to bring back what I'd learned abroad, Apekaya, and she bought into the idea, she understood it without any questions. And that's when me and her opened up a business. We started a company that operates in student accommodation, and we ran with it. And parallel with that, we opened a charity organization as well. And that's where I actually realized about ukukhuliswa ngumama elibode, you know, and how she ran her household actually impacted on me without me even knowing, because now I was running a charity organization in Joburg, and I did not have to Google, and I did not have to try and find my way around it, because it was something esikhuliswe ngayo ekhaya. So I would like to thank Azania for being there for me in that journey, and I welcome you guys to walk that journey of being an entrepreneur with me, leaving umsebenzi and concentrating on that. Now, coming back to one of the reasons why I wrote the book. I said on the invitation, you get to meet me and the different layers of who I am, and I get to unmask myself. Hey guys, it's time of Corona. We are wearing masks. I get to unmask myself in front of all of you. The one thing I did not mention at the beginning was that, so the book comes in two parts, right? Part one is what I have already spoken about, introducing you to Onela, her journey from ukukhula kwakhe to everything. And part two now introduces you to Onela the Sangoma, Onela Igqirha, Onela the healer, Bafwam doesn't like being called a sangoma or a gqirha. He prefers being called a healer. Shout out to Gogo Kinosi. In part two, you get to meet the transition. You get to meet Onela, the sangoma, and how my life changed. The other day, I was having a conversation with Onwabisa, because I always get these weird questions about so how do you date being a sangoma? Am I allowed to date and all of those things? So my friend asked me a question, and she was like, how long does it take you to fall in love? And I say to her, well, it can be hours, it can be a day. And her response was, that is how I know you actually heard you lied. I was going to call you out. I'm a person who falls so quickly in love that small things make me fall in love nomntu, I mean, it took a guy keeping imoto yam clean every day for me to fall in love with him. He made sure that my car was always sparkling clean, and I fell in love with this guy, and I fell in so hard that by the time I got up, this tindita. I had a ring on my finger, you know, I had a ring on my finger. I was married, and our marriage was beautiful. You know, our marriage was beautiful. It was amazing. Kumnandi emtshatweni, guys. Um, but my marriage took me through a lot as well. I started seeing that I was neglecting a lot of my friends and my family because kaloku ndiku-love lives here, ndikubhey, you know. Um, so by the end of chapter 1, you get to experience my my understanding and my experience in marriage, and also get to understand when things started to go south, when things started to go south. For me, things started to fall apart when I got a phone call that my mother uyagula. You know, she had fallen ill. But yabaza abantu abadala, they were like, no, it's nothing serious. She just collapsed, but she's not fine. And I remember having to travel back home to go visit her. That's when I actually realized, andinamtshado, you know, this person could not be there for me at the lowest part of ubomi bam. And I had to now go back to the same people that I had neglected. I had to now go back to the same people that ndazikhupha ebomini babo because I was riding the wave and I was happy. And you know what is beautiful about the friendships that I've had was that when I went back to them and told them what was going on and that I needed a shoulder, they did not ask twice. My friends were there, you know, they were very supportive, and you get to meet these special characters that just jumped in and asked, Senzendoni, where can we help? You know? And the funny part is, my first visit back home, Habi actually drove us home without even knowing how. You know, that Eastern Cape is far. Eastern Cape is far, but that was the longest drive ever, you know, where I was asking myself questions and I was rethinking a lot of things, you know. Now you get to walk with me through the doors of a St. Mary's, a hospital in Umtata. I can still feel the knots inside my stomach as we asked the receptionist which room my mother was in. You get to get into that elevator with me, as I'm also not knowing what to expect when I get there. And I thank my sister for being there on that day, because I do not know how I would have handled everything happening on that day. I remember seeing my mother in the state that she was in. I remember her questioning us about why are we there, because she's not that bad, you know. And here's the thing about falling ill. You do not get to see how that illness has changed or impacted your life. Only the second person can. And I had to act so strong. I had to act so strong in front of her so that angaboni uba kubi kanjani. you know. So at excuse me, at home we have this coping mechanism that when things get too hard, we try crack a joke and laugh about it. And my sister tried as hard as she could to try and change um, the, what do you call this? Try and change the isimo inside that hospital room, you know. And what hit me the most was when my mother said, I sent a lipstick yako, you know. Um, like, can I have something? When people come to visit me, I also look pretty. And that is a life lesson I've always carried on. I've always had in my heart about, no matter how life gets, put on your lipstick and face the world. So you get to be there for me, because it's a chapter that I really have not, I don't want to close. It's one thing that still makes me feel close to my mother. I mean, I had just gotten to know and love this person, and now this was happening. So you get to be there and experience me trying to find a way of handling everything. Now you are riding back with me to Johannesburg. Longest drive ever again, because now I'm thinking, when I get to Joburg, do I still want to be this marriage? Do I still want yonke lento yenzekayo? You know? And on my drive back, I actually thought, maybe if I had a dad, if bendinotata, I wouldn't, not all would have been lost. And I did not have this person in my life, you know. If I can take you back a bit, I remember how in high school, I went to a high school where bekufunda abantwana who had everything, you know, who had both parents who would be dropped off at school. And I started creating a father figure in my head just to fit in. And a lot of people escolini did not know that this person never really existed, you know, that it was a person I was just making up as life went along, mimicking what I would see every morning and mimicking what I would see every afternoon. And a miracle happened, you know. I actually realized, nangona ndingenatata, I had a father figure that stepped in and stepped up without being asked and without asking any questions. I met Utatu Mike. Utatu Mike is Sunovuyo and Kayakazi and Vuiseka Zide's father. he became my father by default. You know, he was one person who owned me as a daughter. You know, Utata, we're twins. That's what I call them. Tata Kasnovuyo, Noviseka no Kayakazi, owned me as umntana wakhe. I remember he would come to pick us up, to come pick the girls up at school. And it would be so embarrassing. Like, he would park the car there and make noise. Asikwazi, afuna abantwana bakhe, but this is what he would say. He would say, Sunovuyo Vuiseka, onela, ngenani emotweni. And even though Usnovuyo Vuiseka would be so embarrassed about, Dad, stop, I would be so proud that there is a man coming to pick me up, calling me his daughter. But also as well, going back to my journey back to Joburg, my mother never made me feel short of not having a father. Now, this is what even hit the most. Was that the one person who's playing both these roles in my life is at such a weak point in her life that I feel I cannot do anything for her. So we go through that wave of emotions within the book. You know, you get to understand all the corners that I sat in asking myself questions. And then my mother fell very ill, and it got to a point where we lost her. When I arrived there and I heard that she had taken her last breath, it did not make sense to me, because I had already prepared myself for the worst that could happen, and the worst was not having to lose my mother. I questioned myself so much on the time that we had lost, but I comforted myself in what we had managed to achieve between the two of us. We laid my mother to rest. And that was the most painful experience I've ever had. And I'm grateful to all the friends that were there, that traveled so far to be with me and show me support and show my family support. I remember being called bandizobona umzimba, and I was trying so hard to buy time because I did not want to be there. I did not want to see her lifeless body. And as I walked into that roundabout to see my mother's lifeless body, all hell broke loose. Lavuka idlozi. You know, at that time I did not know what was going on. It took seeing my mother through a glass inside a box to invoke something in me. It was the first time I went into a trance. It was the first time I had an out-of-body experience. It was the first time I felt my body curl. Pain. Pain evoked a tongue within me. Pain evoked a man within me that does not want uba ndihlukumezeke, does not want me to feel pain or be depressed or be hurt. And that is where I take you into part 2 of my book. That's where you get to now meet Onela, the Sangoma. And the funny part is, I always had a different idea of how ukuthwasa kwam started, how my calling started, you know, until Nabisa has a very good memory, guys. Until Nabisa reminded me, Joe, you do not remember the first time we saw you as your friends going into all of that was when you lost your mother. We remember ukukhala kwakho, we remember the cry that we had on that day. And that is the similar cry I heard when I went to go see you ceremony yako. You know, she was like, we did not know how to handle you. We did not know if you ubukhaliswa because of the pain, what was going on. But now, as I spend time with you and I understand your journey of ubasisangoma, I remembered, but that was the day that Umlanjeni showed himself to us. And he showed himself to not only your family, but your friends as well. Now, the importance of that in part 2 of my book is that when I went through ukuzila kukamamam, I also my kiddo, you were scared of me. Oh no. When I went through ukuzila kukamamam, I also went through a period of making a decision that I was leaving my marriage, that there was nothing for me there, that I was depressed, I was emotionally, I was financially drained. There was no reason for me being there anymore, and I had no one to share this with. I had no one to talk to about this, because for a very long time everyone thought I was very happy in there, and dahlala ndabambelela nam, So when I took off izila likamama wam, I also made the decision of leaving my marriage and starting afresh. Ndathi xa ndikhulula iqhiya yam emnyama, ndathetisa ubumnyama ebomini bam and welcomed the light back into my life. I started my journey yokuthwasa, Now let me explain ukuthwasa kwam very quickly, just briefly. Ndithwase amathongo amathathu, right? Ndithwase icamagu, which is ithongo lasekhaya. Ndithwase umndawo nomnguni, which is amathongo amanzi namathongo that roam the earth, right? Now the idea is that icamagu, if ungumXhosa, lithongo lakokwenu, uthwasa ithongo lakokwenu. Then if you go uyothwasa umndawo nomnguni, uyolanda ithongo langaphandle. But for me, remember, eli thongo langaphandle manifested ndisekhaya. Hence, igama lam lethongo ngumlanjeni, which is ithongo lasekhaya, So I started my journey yokuthwasa icamagu, but I did not do it full time because I had a very demanding job. So umama owayendinyanga, umama Mahudulu from Ecala, owayendinyanga, allowed me to go ndiyosetyenzwa, ndiyoba lithwasana, ndiyoba ngumkhwetha, but also come back ndizosebenza, because I had a very demanding job at the time. But the one thing I noticed was that every time I would leave Ephehlweni, Ecala, kwaMahudulu, and come back to Joburg, I would feel this cloud hanging over me, I would feel the walls caving in on me, and I would look at this man, and I would ask myself, what am I still doing here? And I started falling into a deep depression. And when that happened, ithongo lam lomndawo laphinde lavuka. And ukuvuka kwalo, lavuka landikhupha in that situation. I had to start my second journey yentwaso again. That's when I went to go ndiyothwasa umndawo, and umama wam obendithwasa sicamagu understood, she understood why this had to happen, and she allowed me to take this second step in my journey of being igqirha, umngoma, inyanga, a healer, a spiritual being, And on that day, I made a decision to leave everything behind. Everything else I'd lost already. So whatever I was leaving behind was just a fraction of what I'd lost, including ukulahlekelwa ndim uonela. So you get to experience me moving into an unknown world, not knowing what to expect, having all these perceptions and misconceptions and my own understanding of what might happen when I get there, when I put on this red skirt. And I was welcomed by ugobela wam, gogo mahlabihlaba. Thokozani gogo. Gogo mahlabihlaba took me in, and she continued the journey with me. I was welcomed by ubafo wam, gogo Kenosi. I was welcomed by gogo Jikela, gogo Nqana Lehlabathi, gogo Mafungizizwe, intellects. We are professionals, guys. I was welcomed by these intellects into this journey. It was not easy. It was painful. It was hard. Many a times I wanted to pack up and leave. Many a times I asked myself, ba, ndinalo nyani elidlozi, because when I would listen to other people's stories of how they found out that they had a calling, it was very different to mine. And in the book, you get to understand how I got to know that I have a calling and deciding to take the step and follow my calling. So without giving away much of what happens in Thokozani, I take you through my experiences of being a Thwasana, of being a red smurf, and going through my training and giving it all I had and flowing into it with the help of amathongo wam, Mlanjeni, with the help of my mother being there, because now she had become a very strong ancestor in my spiritual realm, with the help of my grandmother, who had also been a very strong ancestor in my spiritual realm. I got handed over these gifts which I was trying to understand how to use, and still asking myself the old question, why me? How am I going to be able to handle all of this? How are people going to accept me when I have to go back? Because people already had received a certain honor, and now I'm coming back being a certain version of myself. I remember our graduation ceremony. It was a day that I wished could not end, where I had all my family and friends who could make it there around me. And I held on to that moment and didn't want it to end, because fear again took over my body. That the minute that they leave, and the minute that I have to leave this protective place, this secluded place where I'm already used to a certain routine, and now I have to go back into the world and find my place again. Fear crept in. I did not know if I was ready to go back. But I went back to abantu who welcomed me with izandla shushu, and more than anything wanted to understand, wanted to know, but how do we make you feel comfortable? How do we help you find spaces? How do we help you maneuver around and get back into the way of things, And for a very long time, even after Ndibuyo Thwasa, I kept away from people. This Valelendlini, trying to, scared actually more than anything of being around people, because I was like, what if when I'm around people, or I start seeing izinto zabo and I don't want to see izinto zabantu, what if I start hearing their thoughts? I didn't know what to expect, because I was used to being around izangoma. So you get to walk through those shoes with me, trying to fit in. Then I realized, but actually I do not have to fit in. Ndihambile, ndayolanda ubukhosi bam. I am coming back a different person, and society needs to accept me as a different person. I had to now start looking for a job, I had to now start making a living. And the one thing that I did not want to do was dizivalele behind closed doors forever. And I wanted to get back to the life that I knew. One would even ask, why didn't you just start practicing or ube a full-time sangoma and start being a full-time healer? And that was because I still wanted to own a part of my life. I still wanted to go back to a part of my life that I knew, that people knew about me. And so the journey started after years of being unemployed. I started looking for a job. And every time I would get a call for a job interview, I would freak out, I would wonder, are there people that will be sitting in the panel? How will they accept me when I get there? When they see these beads. What if I burp? Guys, I burp a lot. What if I burp during the interview and I freak them out? What if they see Ezinsimbi, Nezis Pandla? And remember, you have a whole lot of beads all around you, What if what if Dinugimiti, because we are people who are always trying to communicate nabantu abadala, you know. And every time my phone would ring for an interview, I would go through all of those questions in my head. And now I would kneel to want to ask for guidance, to want to ask for calmness before I go to my interview. And every time I would kneel, I would be stuck between uba ndiyathandaza or ndiyaphahla. Who do I call up to assist me in this journey? Because ndikhulise umntana othandazayo. Now I'm coming from a different world where besiphahla. I wouldn't know if who should I talk to, you know. And I remember Uba Fawam saying during a time of his life where he was going through depression, he would go sit in a corner, and because he had no words zokuthandaza, he would pray the Lord's Prayer. But it got to a point where every time he would say, "Give us our daily bread," he actually got tired of saying that. Now he changed his prayer and he said, "Lord, give me the intelligence to be and think like you, so that the next time I come into my prayer room, I say thank you." And in that instant, it made sense to me, because Apostle Thokozani as well, we were not torn away from ukuthandaza no Thixo nomvelingqangi, you know. I got to a point in my life where I was able to merge inkolo endikhule nayo nenkolo endigqiboyifunda from uThwasa. That I did not call it prayer or ukuphahla anymore. I called it conversations with abantu endihamba nabo. And when I would be going to an interview, I would play gospel and then play my drums, and then, you know, not sure what I must pray to get my spirits up, you know. But the most scary part would be when I actually get to the interview, where I wouldn't know how to answer questions like "tell us about yourself" or things like that, because I wouldn't know how to project or sell myself. So I lost out on a lot of job opportunities because of that. And I finally went to a job interview where I walked in and I owned who I was. I will tell you now, I don't even remember what questions were asked in that interview, because I was just me. I was just me, and I just flowed. You know, I just became me with my humor, and I cracked my way into that office, literally. And now here is the thing about where I got a job. It was a place where I was allowed to be who I am. I was given a platform to not conform. You know, they wouldn't freak out when I take off my shoes because they would let me calm down when they would see uba you know. They were not scared of my burps. Actually, they would be the ones who would be the first to say Thokoza Gogo in the morning when they see me, you know. So this is a word of advice to abantwana bedlozi, abantwana bethongo, who left imisebenzi yabo bayothwasa, and now coming back, they find it difficult babafumane imisebenzi, or find it difficult to move forward academically, and they think bavalwa lidlozi, or that idlozi alifuni uba baphindele back into those lives, you know. Idlozi lakho will never do anything to harm you. You need to learn to not do things the way that you were used to doing them. You need to learn to not do things the way that you hear people saying zenzwa kanjalo. You need to learn now to start listening to the inner voice, oyiphiwe ngabantu abadala, and listen to where they want to direct you to go, and listen to where they want you to be, because there's a reason why they don't want you at a certain place. You know, they don't want you to at a place where you're gonna feel inferior. Number one, they don't want you at a place where uzodeleleka khona. Yeah, they want you at a place where you will be given space to be who you are. Because, for example, elami dlozi, if I'm in pain or something upsets me, liyavuka. You know, so if I wanted to move into being in a workplace and being around people, I had to learn to manage those emotions. So the only way to manage them was bandisebenzisane nelithongo. So you get to experience ubombam as isangoma, you know, all of that, work life, friendships, dating, church, you know, being accepted, people having questions about you. I answer a lot of questions as well in the book, and I give a lot of guidance according to understanding according to what I went through. And yes, that is the book. I wish I could tell you guys what the title is, but let's keep it for now. Let's not get there. Let's not let it sleep, because I'm very excited about the title as well. I know most of you, when you see the title of the book and the cover of the book, you will resonate with it. You will understand why the book is named that and why the book is like that. I would like to take this moment again to, can I have some juice? Hey! Thokozani. Thank you for taking time out on your Saturday and sitting with me for this hour. You know, it means a lot. I'm seeing your comments. I'm seeing your interaction. It means a lot. It's amazing. Nenze njalo nakwabanye. I can't wait to publish the book. I can't wait to have another session with you guys where I'm actually introducing the hard copy and letting you guys know where to get the book. There's a saying in Setswana or Sesotho or Sepedi, I'm not sure, which says, you know, ri lwalisana morwaro. You know, there's nothing beautiful as a gathering of people and siphatisane, and you guys have been a beautiful audience. You've been a beautiful audience. I was freaking out. I was scared, you know, and seeing all your comments and feeling your energies on the other side of the screen means a lot, you know. And I'd like to thank Unwabisa, for being the calmness. You know, around you, like nothing comes together, and she's tried to keep everything together, you know, and she stayed up with me and she's been there. Thank you. And yes, Thokozani Kokoselina. No, I wish I had old back, but I received that. On the 1st, you can send me a gift of the old back. But thank you, everyone. Yakamagusha, Thokozisa, Yakamagusha, Mankwali, Upugula, Mlabateli, Kamagushu Lusu, Kamagushu Mlanjeni, Kamagushu Menemene, Kamagusha Emakwatini, Kamagusha Kotikela Konokonsoibani. Ndathokozisa kwingelengele ezihamba emhlabeni, ingelengele ezihamba emanzini. Ndathokozisa kumabutho ahamba nathi. Athokozisa uMlanjeni wakwaNtsume, ozalwa ngumahlabahlaba, insizwa yakanoganta, ozalwa ngumahlaletyeni. Ndithanda ubulela impande endikhulisileyo, mba ndiyakhulisa namakhehle aze emva kwam, mba ndiyandivumela uba ndilanda ubukhosi bam, ngoba siyiphuzile sayiphalaza emizini yooyise bethu. Langa libalele, amadoda esibhekile sithi siyafa kanti silanda ubukhosi bethu. Thank you for being part of this, and I can't wait for you guys to read my book, and I can't wait for you to be part of my experience. And thank you very much. Makwande, Kukhanye, Lisedi, Nala, Pula, Khanya, I love you all. Thank you very much. God bless. Hey, I see my brothers. Hey, Azola. Hey, Tutuzela. Hi, Koko Mafungizizwe. Thank you for being there. Thank you, Tandiswa. Thank you to the twins. Hey, where? Hi, Sister Magazi, and it's juice in Dasekaya. Like it's juice. Like we try to put a bit of umhlonyana to see if it's gonna do the things. But hey, hey Nom Or, I love you too, babe. Hey Angela, yes, Ndungumankwali. I'm related to Omankwali, Ndungubhukula, Ndingulusu, Ndingumlabatheli, Ndingumlanjeni, Ndingumenemene, Ndinkonja nemnyamba mafini ibelumfulu gcwele, Ndinkwali inkosi. So yes, I am related to Onkwali. Yes, I'm gonna post the video on my wall for those that joined in a bit later on, like Angela. Yes, you will be able to watch when I go offline. Hi Ase, thank you for being there. I felt the energy. Ndabulela mankwali, ndabukela bukula. I can see Amakwati. Zinzi, thank you for being there. You've always been there, actually. You've always been there as umntana omncinci obehamba emva kwam, you know. Diabulela. Thokozani Yanga, Thokozani Aya. Thank you guys. You made this actually very easy. I was really nervous about it, more worried about my hand gestures and touching my face and, you know, my audio. Okay, we can have a Q&A session. I think you must hold a Q&A. If you have any questions, you can type your comment and I'll be able to answer. Thank you, Beauty. The book, I will... Thank you, Wandile, for the question. I will announce the release date and where you can get it from. So I will let you know. I'll personally even sign it for you for asking that question. Duzona Zisa. I'm trying to read your comments and also answer. Yeah. Guys, my sister is such a bully, you know. That's the one thing I was also worried about. Hence we did the dry run no snoi izolo. So thank you. If you are saying my voice projection was good, I'm very happy. Shout out to Tina. Thank you. I'm trying to read your comments, guys. So technology is a bit on the other side. Oh, someone says I must have a live consultation. And that you'll pay later. No, guys, no. Can we please respect craft, and can we please respect idlozi? Momkulu is online. Thokoza, Tamaku. She has been, calling me in the morning to wake up and get ready. Oh, you are married to Onkwali. Yes, you have made a good choice. We are a very good people. Nam ndiyabulela ixesha lenu. Thank you, Toko. I'm also very grateful for you guys taking time out and actually spending time with me. So what I will do is I'm going to post the video up on my page. Thokoza Nela Thokoza. I'm gonna post the video up on my page so that you can join in and leave more comments in there if need be. Thank you to everyone that joined in. Umbulelo ngazenzisiyo ngokuzithoba phambi kwenu. Ndiyabulela. How do I keep my beauty? Oh, you guys are hilarious. Sesibonga ithongo, guys, and good genes, Too nice, siyafuta. Yes, siyafuta, guys, Siyakapa, siyacima, CFG, Thokozani. Oh, you guys are amazing. You guys are amazing. I'm just going to spend time going through your comments. Thokoza Pali, thank you for joining in. Okay, here's a question. What has been the highlight of your journey so far? The highlight of my journey was finding out I had superpowers. The highlight of my journey was realizing that loss can actually be a step towards ukukhanya ebomini bakho. The highlight of my journey was understanding that I am now a different person, and there's a certain way I have to carry myself around abantu abadala. I mean, ndihamba namakhehle, ndihamba namaxhegwazana, and I need to own that. I need to own it, and I also do not want to be consumed in it, hence I try as much as I can to run my life the way that I know how, not how someone else says I'm supposed to act, because everyone has their own perceptions of how isangoma is supposed to carry themselves and how they're supposed to be. I do things the way mna nethongo lam sivumelene ngayo, mna nedlozi lam sisebenzisana ngayo. So the highlight of my journey so far is the peace that comes with being who I am, and the passion that comes out into everything that I touch, into everything endiyenzayo. Ukunyanga abantu, ukusebenza abantu is till now gives me anxiety when I have to perform, because I do not want a person having to come back repeatedly for the same issue. So I give it my all, and I trust abantu endihamba nabo, So one of the highlights that I have is believing myself and trusting in the process. Thank you for the question. Let's see another one. Just date, yes, please, guys. We have laptops on the 1st. Can we please have a date, an online date? You can send, I'll give you my address. You can send me booze. We can have an online date. Yes, Ayanda, we can do that. Let's see. What did she say? Okay, my sister and Nwabisa are busy skinnering about me. Like, Bayan Kleba live. Like, my sister and Nwabisa are going in and Bayan Kleba. My brother says I can schedule a question and answer session later on. All right, guys. Yes, we can do that as well. Or you can write your comments underneath the video, and I can just answer as we go along. So thank you very much, Jabulela. God bless. Bye.